Welcome back, subscribers, and hello YouTube viewers. Now I've stumbled across once again an abandoned castle. Obviously no one's residing at it, but it's in such an isolated place that I wasn't even sure if this place existed. Now I'll give you all the information I can. I've obviously come on the wrong side of the easiest way to get there. So I've come across a dirt road covered in trees, potholes, everything under the sun. It's barely a tractor track. I don't think I've hurt the car at all. I've gone quite gingerly. It's a rental car, so I've got to be super careful with it. But unfortunately, I've come at the wrong side, so I'm going to check my maps again, and there might be a path on the other side, because right where this old castle, or ruins of a castle, is, there's a huge gully. And it will take a cut lunch and a compass just to get down from my point, down the gully and back up again. That's something I don't really want to try, and I'm going to go back to the car. Now, I will show you where the car is, but it's a long distance away. Long for me, probably short for most. And yeah, I just thought there was nothing here. I thought it was a red herring. It was a bogus thing to come and look at, but it's proven to be correct. But the only thing is, it is in a very isolated location. So let's continue on and see if I can get there. Now, as you can see, there is someone actually there. There seems to be a couple that are roaming around. I'm not going to yell out to them. They've obviously come from a different way. And I'm not sure if I can actually, if you get a sense of depth that's in front of this castle. It is quite structurally sound. There's a lot of it. It's small. Is it a monastery? I don't know. Is it just a fortress or something? I don't know. But as you can see, it's in the woods or a forest. So I've got to get on that side of the forest. Now just basically see where the sign is on the actual freeway. I'm not on that freeway. I'm on a little dirt road next to that sign, next to that freeway. So I've walked right along here thinking there's absolutely nothing here. I've been given a bum steer, and whammo, there she is. Now to get there is another question, but I think I should be able to get there. I'll just look at some of the dirt road maps that I've got, and hopefully that'll get me there. Now as we make our way to that castle that appears to be in the forest, and we've made it one way, we're coming the other way. This is the path that I'm having to follow. As you can see, it's a dirt track. There are a lot of signs that I'm noticing for mountain bike riding, and we're just about to come up, or I've already gone over like a historic bridge. Now this bridge is really old. You will see a train viaduct or overpass, and it does appear that during flood periods that this area is flood prone, I guess. Probably after winter when the snow all melts. But I'll just show you, I just wanted to show people where I was going and the way to get to this castle. So it looks like I am on the right direction. I have come around the back of it where we saw those people who were already at the castle, and I thought I'd share you some of these signs and this actual ancient or historic bridge. So here's that signage. Stari most, preko, so it's, I'm going to say, old bridge over, no idea. Is that a river? I'll find out and I'll let you know. But we are going to make our way to that castle that we saw, or the ruins of a castle. Now, as you can see, as we're coming up, immediately made me stop, or caught my eye. There's the overpass for the railway. So there is a railway line that goes through this area. I'd say that's relatively modern, with the appearance of it being old. And here we have the bicycle path for mountain bikes. You're going to have a mountain bike, and that's understating it. You better have a good mountain bike, because the tracks here are pretty rugged. The stones are pretty tough. And here we are going over this very, very old historic bridge. There's my car, and this is the bridge, but I'll go to where the car is and I'll put the camera backwards towards this bridge and you'll see how old this thing is. So there's your contrast of a railway viaduct and an old bridge that would have been built, I'd say, the same time as the castle we're about to go to, or the ruins of a castle. This is old, and it's interesting how wide it is. It will just get one car barely through. I hope you don't have a big car if you do venture out this way, because it might be a bit of a struggle. But these were built for, you know, horse-drawn carts and the like back in the day. But you can go across it. I think a normal size four-wheel drive will be just fine. But the smaller the car, the more easier it is, because if there's a pothole anywhere, the four-wheel drive won't avoid it, whereas a smaller car can, which I've noticed on the track that I'm driving on now. So there you have it. I thought I'd just stop, show you this really old bridge. And once we get to the actual castle, I'll tell you exactly where I am. I'll try to get the pronunciation right of the castle as well as the town that I'm in. So, we have finally made it. Look, you can drive your car right to the castle itself. On the maps, it won't tell you how to get here. It'll tell you that you've sort of got to park it at a certain distance and walk in, but that's not the case at all. You can actually drive a regular car all the way in, just take your time. It is a stone sort of gravel type road. There are slightly larger stones than usual, so you just got to avoid those and go a little bit slower and go around them. So, the pronunciation of this castle, this is my 2 cents worth, is Kličevica. Now, if I said that wrong, I'm sorry. And the town is known or called Raštević. So I'm hoping I got that right. So Kličevica, and the town is Raštević. For whatever it's worth, I hope I did it right. So anyway, I'll swing the camera around, show you where I've parked, and I'll show you where the actual castle is directly behind me. Once again, there's no one here, so that initial couple that we saw at the start of this video, they've now long gone. I'm thinking they've got a long walk, because I did see a car parked way in the distance where it sort of tells you should sort of park your car. But I would ignore that if you are coming out here. There's nothing to say you shouldn't be allowed to come here. There's a road that takes you right here, so that's exactly what I've done. So they're obviously walking back. It is a bit of a distance if you want to walk it back. There's signs here for push bikes as well, but I'll show you where I've parked, and let's continue on and have a look at this fantastic looking castle. So here's the tourist board, I guess. Now, it does say that the Fort Kličevica is situated not far from Benkovac, whatever that major town is, but we are close to that other town. It says that we have found, or they have found, ruins and items dating back to 50,000 years BC, and the fort was built in 15th century. So there you go. Once again, it's in English on the right and Croatian on the left, and just press pause. It is a huge location here for cyclists, and it looks like it is it's quite bizarre, because this is not really highlighted as well as it should be, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm glad I found it, and I'm glad to show it to you. So this is where I've parked the car. There's the track that brings you into the area, and as we swing around, it'll show you that you can actually do a U-turn, or there's an area where you can swing your car around to make an exit. So we're going to make our way down to that castle, and I think it's going to be pretty good. Once again, unfortunately, there is a big issue with dumping of rubbish, and we still scratch our heads to why people do it, especially this is more than likely locals who are doing it. No one's going to travel in the middle of nowhere hundreds of miles to dump, so it's sad that maybe the locals could put in a camera and watch who comes in with a trailer or a load of rubbish, and if they leave, it's a one-way in, one-way out type situation. So it'd be easy to catch these people who are doing it, because as they go in, you can see it with a full load, and when they come out, their load is empty. So maybe that's something that the locals can do, or the police can do. Stick up one of those cameras that they use for wildlife. So it's on a sensor, and hopefully it'll pick up the number plate, and the bill could be sent to them accordingly. So here we are making our way to the castle, or the fortress. It is an easy walk. The path is okay. And wow, how spectacular is that? Now, it does look like, as I mentioned when we went past that bridge, this area is prone to flooding. So that's why it appears that there might be a moat around it, but I doubt it's a moat. I think it's just a natural thing. Here are some of the images. I think we actually caught the, well, that's great. So we've been able to catch that viaduct where the train goes over, and the historic bridge that we passed. There's a picture of the castle that we're at. That's the cannons that they discovered here. So yeah, once again, this is the what's worded in English. So I'll press, if you want to press pause, by all means have a read. And up here is in Croatian. So once again, press pause if you want to read it. And there you have it. Now there is a, once again, there is a solar panel here for cyclists, so they can come and repair their bikes. There's some tools, but unfortunately it does look like someone has vandalised it and maybe stolen the battery pack for charging up electric batteries. I don't know why people do it. It is what it is. They're saying that there are surveillance cameras here. I hope they catch those culprits that do stupid things like that. So here we are. What a spectacular castle. Let's go in and explore. So there is a walkway to the left there. So we'll have a look at that. I think it's going to be quite spectacular once we get the drone up. And I have to say, when I came the other way, we did have a much better view of this castle. A much better view. But this gives you an idea of height. So this thing is extremely tall. And there it looks like the way you'd get in through that side, the walkway. Now, just to the right here, I don't know if you can see it, in the middle of your screen is the like a more modern freeway, highway. I think it might be the Autobahn because I didn't travel on it to get here. Whether or not you can see that from the road, I think you can, but you're going to only get a glimpse of it because there's a big hill just to the right of the castle there. So while you're going over that bridge and where that gully is, you might be able to see the actual castle itself. So we'll continue on and let's see what we see. This should be really good. I'm looking forward to this because it looks so spectacular on the other side, and I think once I get the drone up, I will go into the gully to show you how high this is. That's the castle, and how deep the gully is. Like, you do not want to fall. Even walking along here on this ledge, if you're worried about heights, don't come up here. If you aren't worried about heights, you'll be fine. If you are worried about heights, then be cautious. Now, just there in the middle of your screen is where I came from, and as you can imagine, no one's going to be crossing that. I guess you can, but you'd be totally out of puff. Now, just near the entrance, we've got this big cavity. For whatever reason, I don't know. And I think this is where we saw that couple while we're on the other side, having a bit of a look around. So this does look like a bit of an entrance. Whether it's the main one, I don't know, and it does appear to be the main one. But wow, it is spectacular. Just fantastic. Yeah, that's a natural gully down there, where at times water would flow, and I'd imagine that's near the end of winter when the ice and snow is melted from the high mountains here. Just fantastic. If only the walls could talk, would they tell a story? Now this thing looks very deep. Whether or not it was the well to this fortress, I don't know, but that's what I'm going to surmise. But wow, you can see that there's quite a number of layers, and we had quite a number of floors. So we're just at the ground level, so to speak, and there would have been a number of floors, maybe 3 at least, that I can see. And then we've got this opening here. Someone's put a few rocks there to help us get in. So what I'll do is I'll get to here, let myself in, and then turn the camera back on. Now I've made it through the hole and I'm looking straight down, but I'll do it slowly. You'll see what there is here. There is a rope if one wants to get to and climb up, and it takes you to the other side to a platform, and there you have the ceiling. Now I'm less inclined to grab that rope to put me on the next level. I'm going to hope there's another way of getting to that next level. So once again, it's very dark. The only light coming in is through those holes in the actual tower part of the structure. Now I have been able to make it just the first step. I'm not going to rely on that rope. It looks a bit gingerly. I think it's going to break at any minute, but it is what it is. I just wanted to show you the actual dome now that I'm a little bit further in of where the tower is. That is quite spectacular how it all leans in and doesn't collapse. So there you have it. So we'll turn around here, and that's the opening that we came through initially. Very good. So here we are on one of the perimeter walls on the corner, and there's your tower. I'm not sure how many people have climbed up that rope, but you're going to have to jump. You're not even going to be able to make it. There's no one tall enough unless you use some of those holes where you put your footing and slowly climb up, and then you're going to rely heavily on that rope to that opening. Whoever's keen to do that, more power to them. It's not going to be me. So anyway, I think I can get the drone right here. We could have a bit of a sneak peek in there. I'm not going to fly in because I might lose the signal, and then I'll have to go in there to retrieve the drone. So there she is. It is a spectacular castle, fortress. A lot of history. There's a hole here. Let's have a look in this hole. Let's see what we see. And we're not going to see too much, but that's okay. But wow, what a spectacular looking building. So there you have it. All right, I'll go get the drone. It looks like it's an area where you can come with a picnic. I'm not sure if there is scouts or girl guides in Croatia. I'm assuming they might have. This would be a great location for that to occur, to come and visit. Maybe the kids can somehow create some sort of rope work to get themselves in there. It would be a challenge. But yeah, it's just lovely. It really is. I'm glad I made the effort. It is something spectacular. I think the drone's going to show us a lot more than me walking around. So let's do that next. So here we are at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was quite spectacular, I believe. It's probably one of the better ones I've been to. That's structurally sort of all intact, or intact minus maybe all the timber structure where all the floors would be and where all the interior sort of living quarters would have been, but structurally on the outside it's probably one of the better ones. It is difficult to get here. If you did like the video, by all means click on that like button or that thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. Subscribing does not cost you 1 cent, but it really does help the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day. And thanks for watching.